Hey guys, this is Rick the Prof. I'm live on Facebook and as well as on YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel if you want to see both of my shows, which is Proph Talk with Rick Joseph on YouTube, and if you want to see me on Facebook, just add me, which is Rick Joseph. So I am live on Facebook for 2 hours uncut. However, on YouTube, I am gonna be live for 1 hour. Then I'm gonna go on break. Then the next one I'm gonna be live for the other episode. So right now today we have our special guest. His name is Triston. Triston, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Hey, what's up? Proph Talk is brought to you today by the nice one, which is called the Big Dinner Box, all in one for $19.99 for Pizza Hut. It comes with 2 medium one topping, 5 breadsticks or flavor sticks, your own choice of side, and also the new special stuffed crust pizza. So that also applies for right here on Facebook as well. Stuffed crust, $12.99 with bacon and stuff like that. So delicious. And as well as the other one with the $19.99 Big Dinner Box special. Okay, this episode is a tribute episode for the people who died, for the two people who died today, which is Muhammad Ali. He died at 74 years old, as well as Kimbo Slice, since he died at 42 at a young age, like 3 years younger than my mom. That's kind of sad, you know. We pray for them and hopefully pray for their families and stuff like that. I hope they coping with the stuff. So anyway, Triston, we know I understand this week is not Father's Day, because I understand this week's not Oh yeah, sorry guys, just to let you know this is not Father's Day. Father's Day is on the 19th. So right now on the 19th, for me, I'm not gonna post anything for Father's Day because at that same time it's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So the following video will be done on June 26th. And June 26th is actually, I was looking through the videos and some topics I'm being complacent and missing about, and we're gonna talk about colleges and schools and like should college be paid free versus should college be reduced. So that's about it. Triston, what is
Yes,
your view of a father?
my view of a father is a person who is a provider, a protector, a guide, a leader, a role model for not for his family, particularly for the children. For the son, he has to show the son manhood and how to be respectful to women, what certain things to do, such as men were mostly known for like helping fix the car and all that kind of stuff. Something like my dad told me, which is cool. To teach him manly responsibility things. And for a daughter, he's the daughter's first love, and that how her father treats his mother. Her mother, she's gonna grow up thinking, okay, that's how a man's supposed to treat a woman, and she's just gonna accept that. So it gets so for a son, it's a father's first like that's his boy. He's gonna be like just like daddy. But for a daughter, it's a daughter's first love because he's gonna show his daughter how a man's supposed to treat you based off how he treats his wife or her mother.
Yeah, but how are you gonna deal with people who don't have who live in single parent household, like either when they live with their father or versus when they live with their mother? That's my main concern.
Well, a woman can't really teach a boy how to be a man. She can kind of advise him on how to behave,
Yeah.
but it's the man's part to how to show him how to behave. A woman can just teach him, hey, don't do this, say this, be nice, this or that. But the man should have to actually kind of show him how to do it, because that's why nowadays when men, particularly boys become men now, when they don't have fathers, it's kind of hard for them in terms of how to treat a woman because they say, man, I never grew up with a father. I don't know what's like to have a father. So they used to being, locked up or getting in trouble or going to jail, cursing and using a lot of vulgar language toward women, beating up on women, because they never had that role model to show them how to positively grow up in society. So That's why it's important to have a father. And even if, and the thing about fathers, well, even mothers, I should say as well, or parenthood as well, I should say in general, it doesn't have to be all biological. There are so many people who give birth or have kids, but they don't deserve to be called parents. Like, for example, kids who come from broken down homes, such as the parents are crackheads or junkies or abusing drugs of in some sort. And as a result, what happens? The government takes them away to go into foster care, and they get adopted into a new family that hopefully treats them and raises them well, but better than their original parents. And for the kid, if the kid sees that, they're gonna call their foster parents mom and dad, and not their biological. And if they're not, when they see their biological mom and dad, there's gonna be a lot of resentment, a lot of hatred toward them because they say, hey, even though you gave birth to me, look what you guys did. You guys created a hell for me. But then I come into these people's homes, and they created a heaven for me. A place where I can prosper, be myself, I can live life positively, you know. So whether it's fatherhood or motherhood or just parents in general, it does not all biological. You can have kids, but having kids is one thing, but raising them is a totally different thing.
True, true. Like nowadays, I realize that when Father's Day was a holiday, is like underrated, because Mother's Day, like people, like for last month, people like will do anything for Mother's Day, but in terms of Father's Day, they don't do much, and I understand why, because we fathers are stigmatized of like nowadays. Back in the day, it used to be like mother, father, son, and like that. Nowadays, when people start getting irresponsible in terms of having intercourse, and nowadays start having kids and stuff like that, they have the ability to like, okay, I'm gonna go do what I want, so they say, and just leave them alone and change their names or whatever the case may be. And the mother has to be stuck with taking care of not only for her share but for the person's share as well. So I think the problem is there should be like equal parity, and that's when child support comes into question. I don't want to go into further about that, but it's not fair. Like I believe in like this: if you're not together, co-parent. If you don't like the person, don't go say that make some bogus claim like, oh, I'm taking my kid away because he doesn't do nothing for the kid. Unless he don't do nothing, unless he just like say things trying to avoid child support. Like I understand that, but on the other hand, when somebody just actually trying to be there, actually trying to support their kid and stuff like that, because I think I posted a video with Daquan Wilshire when he's talking about like Mother's Day and stuff like that. I think I did something like that, and it's I understand for the son or daughter, there's always like with the mother's room, be like when a person come out of a mother, the first thing they see is the mother. Like they look at the mother, they don't look at the father till they get to know him a little bit more. Like when they grow up, and as long as the father is there, that's all that matters. Nowadays, it's like, nowadays people having babies and stuff like that, and don't want to take responsibility for their own action. If I'm 25 years old, if I were in a situation like that, like I have to step up, I have to be a man. I realize, what, my dad did not do the same. I'm not saying my dad was a good dad. I'm not saying that he's a good father. But my thing is that if you talk like with my father personally, if you say a lot of bad things about my mother, and even if half the case is true, why don't you take me out of the hostile environment and I'm getting me away from my mother? Don't be like, oh, my mom had this and that. No. You could have done something if it's for your kid. Because I found out he had more kids outside. I'm like, come on, man. Like, why are you doing like that, man? Because if I'm a father, I'm saying with one person. If we broke up for whatever reason, don't forsake your kids while you have other people. Treat them all equal. And I watched the more show. There's a guy named I think his name is like Eugene. He have like 5 different kids all over the place. And and half of them don't want nothing to do with them. Some of them want him to be a father. They don't want the money, because nowadays there's always stigma about, oh, if I have a kid, it's all about child support like that. Like it don't have to be unless you deal with a person that had that mentality of the head. That's the problem, and that's the problem with us. We have to stay strong. And you know what? Like I'm gonna take care of my kid. I gotta do what I gotta do for myself. And you know what I mean? Like I'm not here for you. I'm here to make sure my son's right and stuff. Like next time I see some stuff on YouTube, and the father came like I understand mother's custodial parent, and he has like custody rights, but all he wants to do is to take his son out. He said, "Oh, you're not coming to take my son." He said, "I came to visit my son." And next time, the mother told this kid to close the door on his father. To me, when I saw that, I just want to cry, man. Like, some stuff you want to cry for.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, I'm getting somebody pregnant. Oh, I have like 6 kids before baby mom. Like, it's like a new thing. No, you stay with one person. Like, I'm not saying, I'm not gonna say, oh, don't have sex or be a virgin or be pure. You're gonna have sex eventually, but make sure you wrap up because whatever responsibility that you have, something's gonna happen, and you have to take accountability for your own actions.
Yeah, you have to.
That's what we, as men, we supposed to be the provider. We supposed to be doing all that. Nowadays, I think roles are starting to get reversed now.
Yeah, I think nowadays, I think roles are starting to get reversed because, particularly with new laws,
Yeah,
with a lot of women nowadays, they're leaving home and they're not just being housewives per se, but they're also, working women, and they're also making their money and they're becoming managers just as much as men are. So,
yeah.
and then now, because they are, I know a lot of women say, "Oh, I don't need a man." Well, it takes a man to help you procreate, but
Yeah, I know that.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
but in other words than that, though, I mean, financially, I mean, they're able to take care of themselves and as well as their kids.
that's
So
that's all that
so
matters,
it's
man.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but at the same time, though, it should equal. It should be equal because men just have as much rights as women do in terms of when dealing with a child. You know what I'm saying? The woman that made the child herself. So I mean, so I think yeah, it should be equality.
Yeah,
But of course,
it should be
there are some
equal.
people. But of course, there are some people who want to abuse the system.
Yeah,
Try to
that's
take
true,
as much as
I
they
don't like,
can.
and I don't like people like that. But if you're gonna have a kid, you co-parent and do what you have to do. That's what me personally. That's how I look at things. Like
Yeah,
sometimes with me, like I see some good guys do a lot. Like,
yeah,
I see some good guys do a lot, and some of them guys don't want to put up the slack because I made a baby. Next, try to make some excuse to try and get child support down or don't do nothing and stuff like that. No, the problem is you're supposed to do responsibility for your own actions. That's what I like. No matter what decision, I've always been told, whatever decision that you make, you have to take accountability for your own actions. Doesn't matter if it's big, doesn't matter if it's small. Whatever it is, you have to take your own action. And I respect the fact, that's how we do things, and I respect I respect all the fathers, all the fathers are good, like I know most nowadays most of my friends are fathers. You know this, and I know this, and you know what, and I respect them for that. They take care of responsibility, but I realize in the long run it's gonna be harder, because whatever we pass down from our parents, we have to pass down for the new generation. Like, I understand it's harder.
yeah.
I didn't have no father growing up. Last time I physically seen my father, I was 10 years old. The last time I actually spoke with him is when I was 16, dealing with some situation, and I found out his true colors. And to me, seeing that's kind of hard. And to a point that I can be like, I can either treat this like let history repeat itself, or B, take it as a life lesson and treat all my treat if I have kids to treat them all with respect. That's the way I look at it.
No,
Yeah,
that's
like,
true. I mean, it's I understand. I understand what you're saying. It's hard because you're just a young kid and now you've been exposed to all that kind of stuff at an early age. You're like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, you're getting older. You may be a kid, but at the same time, you have sense to understand what's right. Like,
exactly.
what's going on. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Exactly. But nowadays, like with me, we have those things. We have those people called stepfathers. I'm gonna tell you what a true stepfather is. A stepfather is like this. A stepfather will do anything, like treat his kid as his own, and play with the kid first, and trying to get, like, I understand the point. I understand, like, if you're a single mother, I say you're trying to trying to get with somebody. Like, I understand that, there's some time, and there's some time, there's gonna be at a point in the life, even kids tell you, what, you need to stop taking care of me, you need to take care of yourself, to a point that, go to dates and stuff like that, which is fine. But the thing is that, now that you have people playing daddy and stuff like that, doing some weird stuff I see on Steve Wilkos' show, like, Jesus Christ, man, like, I see, not like, to a point, or, like, nowadays, you just ignore the kid, and then the kid trying to play with you and stuff like that, you ignore the kid, and to a point like the kid don't want, when he grows up, he see what kind of man you are, he don't want nothing to do with you, then you trying to bond with him a couple of years later, or whatever the case may be, he don't want nothing to do with you, because if you would have given, like, when you first Because I realize like this: when you dating somebody who has kids, remember you dating the total package. You're not dating a mother. You're dating the kids too. And some of the people that's a mentality.
Exactly. If you practically speaking, if you're just say like you're interested in a woman, a young woman, but she has a
Yeah,
kid already, then you understand that she kid comes first, and if you love her, you
yeah,
also love the kid because the kid is part of her.
that is true.
So that's how it is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Hold on a second. Sorry for people watching Facebook. I'm sorry about that. I think mine's a little cut off a little bit, around 15 minutes. I think there's like a time limit or something like that. I don't know, but I will check it out under the live subscription. So just be blessed. Anyway, like I said, like nowadays we respect fathers. It's Father's Day. We have to do what we gotta do. You know, that's what we have to do. We have to pray for them. We have to make sure they're the strong people because nowadays we being underrated, but we appreciate the mothers. They give up the birth, they do all this stuff like that. But it's also
Yeah.
us to mold the kids. Because nowadays, I see kids going out of control. It's like it's like no falling in line. I'm not saying no falling in line. It's like no control, no stern discipline. A
No
mother can
home
do. A
training.
mother
No
can do so
home
much.
training.
Like a mother can do so much. It's to a point like, come on, man. Like I need help.
Yeah, that's true. Even yeah, that's true. My mother can do only so much. Like, listen, I'm trying to raise this boy right or this girl right, and she's still out of control.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, though, like I say, it still should be equal, like equality in terms of both father and mother, because
Yeah.
it takes two to tango,
Exactly.
and it also means not just making a kid, but it also means to raise a kid,
Mm.
because the mother can only do certain things in terms of raising the child,
Yeah.
and the
Sure.
father gonna have to help pick up the slack wherever the mother is weak, wherever the mother is weak, because as humans we can't do everything. We're not Superman. We don't have superpowers. We can't.
No.
You can't freaking say, hey, okay, you act right by the snap of our fingers. No, it don't work that way. It's a process. So you just have to. You see them acting up, okay. First time you speak to them. Second time, okay. I spoke to you already now. Now, if you act up, I'm gonna tell your dad. I'm gonna tell your mom. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because nowadays kids are smart. Kids will try to freaking separate the parents in terms of when the kid acts up. Like for example, a kid may done bad at school, right? Let's say like they got a bad report card, and the mother says, okay, you know what? No game for you, right? Let's say sorry. The father says no game for you. The son could come on to the father, Dad, I got a bad report card. Okay, you know what? No game for you. Mother come
Exactly.
home, she says, Mother come home, the kid asks my mom, can I play a video game? The mom says, sure.
Yeah. We there's always
Like,
there's always arguments like
what?
that. So that's that's
And
that's
then
that's
next thing
fine.
you
That's
know,
fine.
and then the next thing you know, the next thing the father's like, wait, why are you playing video game? Cause mommy said I could. Then they tell your
Exactly.
mom,
That's normal. We expect something like that. That's normal.
That's no, you freaking bastard.
Exactly.
You freaking.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. All the fathers, do what you gotta do. And all the
Yeah.
fathers, if you're a father to your kids, more power to you. God bless you. Do what you got to do. Take care of your kids and raise them the right way in life. That's all I gotta say. For all the fathers who's afraid to step up, and who's their first time fathers, I'm not a father. I never had kids and never had kids. All I know, you gotta step up, do what you gotta do, and when you see the baby, it will change your life, and you'll become a new man.
Yeah,
And for the other,
because parenthood, that's not for kids. That's for grown people.
yeah, for the other people
That's for grown people.
for the other people who's not doing their fatherly duties because of whatever circumstance, get time, do some way to somehow get with your kids. Get with your kids. It's not, like if you're afraid of the mother, just worry about the kid that you have. Kid out there asking for daddy to a point like that kid's gonna have a lot of resentment towards you.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. All right, guys. Right now we're gonna do right now I'm gonna go on break from YouTube, and we're gonna finish up episode. We're gonna start doing episode 8 with about marijuana, and you know what? I'm not gonna go into like the war on drugs and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go into that. I'm just talking about like the comparison how it was back in the day versus how it was now. So, thank you for the broadcast, and I see you in about 10 minutes.